This is a Hurricane Ian update right now. It has slammed into the southwestern coast of Florida, mainly south of Tampa, St. Petersburg, and areas south, including Sarasota, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, Naples. We are seeing incredible impacts, incredible storm surge like I forecasted. This is a historic storm, actually tied fourth all-time in Florida destructive, most significant hurricanes. It is a historic storm, really significant, and we are expecting those hurricane impacts, though it will be a weaker hurricane by the time it gets to Orlando. We are expecting those hurricane impacts all the way towards Orlando. Now it will be probably a Category 2, Category 1 when it gets to Orlando, but still that's going to be significant wind. Power outages are going to be so widespread, it's not going to be a good situation. If you evacuate to Orlando and you think you're in the clear, that is not the case, as we are expecting those tropical storm force winds, maybe low-end hurricane force winds in Orlando. Until Ian gets to Orlando, it is expected to sustain those hurricane force winds, though it will be weakening. That's still going to cause major power outages, and as Hurricane Ian again goes across the southern central part of Florida, that rain is just going to be incredible. Inundation of rain is going to cause significant, major, possibly historic flooding in southern Florida. Everybody there in those hurricane warnings in south central and southern Florida needs to be ready for this. And then as Ian goes out of Florida, it is expected to remain a tropical storm, go into the Atlantic a little bit, but then curve back around somewhere near the Georgia, South Carolina coast. We already have tropical storm warnings along those coasts. Storm surge is going to be the main issue. Of course, not what we saw in Florida, but still, we are expecting some impacts there on the South Carolina and Georgia coast when Ian curls around and hits those areas, and then it will significantly weaken and be out of here, out of our minds, really, by the time we go into around probably Friday into Saturday. Then it will be significantly weakened, but we're still expecting impacts as Hurricane Ian goes inland into Florida, and then of course those impacts in along the eastern coast of Florida, as well as the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. Again, in those rivers and bays, we are expecting that storm surge as Hurricane Ian goes off the east coast of Florida and then hits South Carolina and Georgia. We are still in the worst of Hurricane Ian right now as it hits Florida. It did just make landfall, and this was your update for Hurricane Ian. Again, the impacts are devastating and historic. This was a very bad storm, and we expect those impacts to continue as it goes into inland Florida, and then some impacts as well, South Carolina and Georgia. I'll see you soon with more weather.